Hey guys, how are you? I am so excited to be here. It is the Jackie Jackson checking in with you all this evening here. Oh my word, I'm so excited. Hold on. Oh my gosh, I don't have any earrings on. Let's fix that. Put these diamond-like earrings on. Well, we're just gonna hold on a few minutes and wait for everyone to log in and check into you. I don't want anybody to miss our message for tonight's live. Okay, so if you give me a moment, I'll get like super fly by putting in my cubic zirconians real quick, and we'll get started. Fair enough. All right. Yep. Miss Jackson is looking uber fancy. So tonight we're going to be talking about how to stay on track for your goals, right? So many of you have been thinking about your 2019 because it's like right around the corner. I know I have, all right? Every time I get into like fourth quarter of every year, I start thinking about the next year. Like, what am I going to do differently than I did like this year, the year that I'm in? So I know that I can't be the only one that has these thoughts, right? So I can't be the only one. I know for a fact that I'm not the only one, right? So you have to think to yourself, I'm like, okay, well, if I'm going to go into a new year, what am I going to do differently next year that pretty much I didn't do this year? You know what I mean? So that's like one of the main questions a lot of people ask themselves, right? So people are not really short of like New Year's resolutions and goals and, making like these big plans for their lives. The question is like, how do you stay on task to get everything that you want done? Like everything that you want to do, how do you stay on track to actually get her done, right? You don't look back and be like, gosh, like where did the time go? And how come I didn't do like 50% of anything that I wanted to do, right? So being like really successful in your life really requires you to stay focused on everything that you really want to do. So whether you have big goals and you're trying to like travel and go international and go many new places, travel to different continents, whatever that looks like for you, or maybe you just trying to go to the next town over, and you just haven't been there yet. I've been trying to get out to like Lake County, which is like 20 miles away from me for like forever, but it could be something as simple as that, right? Or, something as simple as, just getting your passport or just getting, something done or, starting your new business or learning a new strategy in your business, right? We have lots of things to do, us entrepreneurs, right? There's many different hats and responsibilities that we have to really manage in order to be successful in our business. And whether we do those jobs like ourselves, whether we are the like accountant and the marketing person and we're the marketing department, we're the sales department, we're the customer service department, you know what I mean? Like we're like everything. They're like a one-stop shop, as an entrepreneur, or you actually, outsource that stuff for your business. It doesn't matter, right? You still have to have some kind of like overall understanding and knowledge of what you want to do. So how do you stay on track with your goals? Like, how do you do it, right? So I'm going to give you some tips on what I do to stay on track with my goals as a real estate investor. And when I say like on my goals, I'm talking about like daily stuff, right? Because everything that you do in your day leads to the success of your week, leads to the success of your month, which leads to the success of your quarter, which leads to the success of like your year. Like you can't like try to be like, oh, I'm going to lose, 100 pounds, right? You have these big goals. Okay, well, we got to break that down into like chunks, we got to break it down into like bite-sized pieces so it makes sense to our brains, right? You have these really big goals, and then a lot of people get really disappointed when they don't accomplish their goals. But in order for you to make your goals manifest and make it like a reality in your life, you have to stay on top of and stay on track of the little stuff first, right? In order for you to be successful with your big girl. So what I do, I have these really cool notepads here, and I'm gonna give Dr. Stacia a awesome shout out. I love her so much, Dr. Stacia. She has something called My Success Day, right? My Success Day. So here it is, guys. Ha ha ha. My Success Day. So on it, it's kind of like a life, oh my gosh, like checklist, like a daily life checklist. It has everything on here. So like, for example, it has like, did you drink water today? I know. So simple, but true. All right. So did you drink water today? Did you make your bed? You know, did you do any self-care and self-love today? Right. You know, did you listen to anything like inspiring or reading something? Did you tidy up? You know, did you clean up your space? Like an organized space creates an organized atmosphere, which an organized atmosphere leads to an organized life and organized thinking. Right. Did you do anything cultural today? Did you do anything that allowed you to learn and grow? Did you have any spiritual intake, right? What was your meditation? And did you do anything like set aside some time to really like decompress and like really think about like what it is that you want to do? But more importantly, it has something on here called like your top intentions for the day. So people are really good at like making to-do lists, right? And then what happens with your to-do list? Like nothing on your to-do list is done. It's like you keep writing them in vain. And why do you keep writing them in vain? Because it's like they just never get done. So you just like keep repeating the same thing over and over and over, like the next day, like nothing happens. So I actually have a different strategy in how I actually create my list. So I use my Success Day tracker here from Dr. Stacia Pierce, Life Coach of Women. Give her a quick shout out. I use it to write down my intentions. All right. So what is the big thing that I need to accomplish today? What's that big thing that I need to accomplish today? So that's what I write for my intention. So everything that is related to that one big thing, and maybe sometimes it's like two big things, like two things that I need to do right away, right? So everything that relates to those one or two big intentions for my day, that's how I do like backwards planning for my to-do list. So everything that's on my to-do list is not random. It actually supports my intention. And then my intention supports my goal. I hope you see where I'm going with this. All right. So I break it down into little bite-sized pieces so I actually can like get things done. You know what I'm saying? So as an entrepreneur, I have a few different things that I'm responsible for. I oversee like my own designs and marketing. I oversee like my own social media and my websites and stuff like that. And that in itself is like totally like, exactly. So my point is, you know, when you're working on it and doing it for yourself, it's like, oh my gosh, like it could be overwhelming. I could tell anybody that. It could definitely be overwhelming if that's not really like your cup of tea. But, you know, I like to learn. So what I do is I don't just say, oh, I got to get my website done. That's too big. That's way too big. That could be like anything. All right. That could be like a category of different things. So instead of just saying this huge lofty goal, which makes you feel all overwhelmed, like you can't get anything done, and it makes you feel like this big because, you know, you didn't finish what you're supposed to do, I break it down into intentions. So I'm using, you know, my website, for example, to make it like real to you guys. All right. So I would probably say on my website, I would have like one big thing on the site that I want to do. All right. So for example, I would say, okay, I want to write like page 1. Like it's really, that is an intention, right? So just one page. That's it. I don't want to do anything else, but just one good page. All right. So if I'm going to write one page, one content, one page of just like text, right? Information, just one page, then if that is my intention to do one page, then I have to do some backwards planning. I just think about like, what is that? What's the purpose of that one page? Number one. And then I have to think about like the topics, the things that I'm going to write on that page, and what information, what message am I trying to relate for that page. So all of my to-do requirements for the day will relate to the content that I need for that one page. All right. So therefore, you know, by the time I'm finished like with my website, then in theory, right, when I'm finished with my website, I will have like mastered everything that I need to do for it. Like I don't bounce around. I systematically break down and digest all of that information. So that's what I'm trying to say to you guys. So don't go into 2019 with these big goals without breaking it down and making it real for yourself of how you are actually going to accomplish them. And one of the best ways to do that is to not only just write them down, right? So my kids and I, we sat together and we wrote out our 101. Oh yeah, one for just good measure, just because. So we wrote out 101 goals that we want to accomplish in 2019. That's like super aggressive to say the least, like super aggressive and super ambitious, right? But some goals are like bigger than others, and some are, you know, some are simpler and less complex than others, right? So we definitely believe that they're all feasible, but the reason why we wrote them all out is because like no goal is like unworthy of being written, you know what I mean? So even if it's like a small idea, we write it down anyway. So that contributes to our 101 goals. So I'm actually challenging you all, if you have not sat down together with your significant other, with your kids, you know, make it like a goal party. You guys are out there like partying it up and doing, you know, a whole bunch of really cool things with family. Sit down and say, hey, what do you really want? You'll be surprised that people struggle with actually writing down what they really want. I mean, that's real talk right there. People really struggle with identifying and making decisions on what they really want for their lives, right? So I challenge you to do the same thing, right? Sit down, write out your goals, and then from there, actually break that goal down into little bite-sized chunks and pieces, and then make those your intentions for those goals, right? So for example, I'll give another one because maybe the website is like kind of like doesn't really relate to you guys. All right, so you want to do, I don't know, you want to lose 50 pounds. I don't know. That's real. Especially after like Thanksgiving and Christmas and every other holiday. You want to lose weight. Everybody always has a New Year's resolution, you know, to go to the gym and all that crazy stuff. I mean, gym memberships like skyrocket in January, right? That's like their best month ever. If you own a gym, you're gonna get like all these new members coming in there, and by the time like February, March, maybe your membership may, you know, still be there in April, but I doubt it. People stop coming. They just be paying. It's on auto pay. People are just, you know, it's just coming out of your account, or, you know, be billed to your credit card. You know what I'm talking about. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Don't act like y'all don't know what I'm talking about. Anyway, so say you want to lose 50 pounds, right? So you want to lose 50 pounds. What I would probably do is I would break up those 50 pounds. I would just divide it by 12, right? Why like stress myself out trying to lose 50 pounds in like 1 month? That's like not even like realistic. So I would break that down into little small pieces. So whatever that looks like, 50 pounds divided by, I don't know, 12. Somebody do that. I do wholesalers math. I do real estate math. So it doesn't always make sense. So here we go. I'm going to do it for us. So 50 divided by 12 is 4.16. All right. So 4.16. So I don't know. I like to round. So let's round up and just make it like 4.17, if that's even a thing. 7 is a good number. All right. So 4.17 pounds per month. All right. So you think about it, you'd be like, oh, snap. I think I could do that. I think I could do 4 pounds in 1 month. Right. So if we think about it in a month, I'm like, all right, well, let's break it down even further, right? So you know what? My goal is 1 pound a week, maybe, or 2 pounds a week. If you want to double up on what you want to do. And if your goal is only going to be like 1 pound or 2 pounds per week, right? Well, what do you have to do to lose like 1 pound a week? I mean, it really isn't like a lot, right? Your goals and expectations is really not that high for yourself just to lose 1 pound per week, right? So you're not really like stressing yourself out. And that's really how you need to break down like all of your goals. And you'll be surprised of like how much more that you'll be able to actually like really accomplish, like how much stuff that you'll be able to say, you know what, I actually did it. Like, oh my gosh, I really, really did it. All right. So I'll give you another example because maybe, business is not your thing. You're not trying to do any website. You're not trying to lose any pounds or anything like that. But maybe you want to actually like travel. You want to go someplace, right? Okay, great. So I don't know. I'm always shopping for travel because I love to travel. So I'm always scouting for great opportunities and great like destinations. So I have a family of 3. So I got to include them. I got to drag them everywhere I go. Right. So on average, a trip is about like anywhere from like $2,500, $3,000, round trip airfare, kind of like budgeted that way. So $3,000 trip. I don't know. We're going to the Caribbean. I love going to the Caribbean, that kind of thing. So if I'm going to do a trip like that once a quarter, right? That's once a quarter, once every 3 months, right? Something like that. So what's that? 3,000 times 4 quarters, that's what, $12,000, right? So I need to figure out where am I going to get $12,000 extra in my budget, right? To make sure that I go to a trip with my family once a quarter, right? You ever thought about that? I don't know. Some people don't break down their lives that way. And then they, kind of feel sad and poopy face and all that kind of stuff because they're not winning. But the only way for you to win is for you to track your progression by breaking down your goals into little bite-sized pieces. All right. So I need to make 12 grand. Right. So if I need to make 12 grand, and I need to figure this out. So what that means for me, all right, so we're going to break it down on a weekly basis. All right, so we need $12,000 divided by 52 weeks. That's an extra 200, and that's $231. All right, so that's $231 per week if I wanted to take 4 different like vacations per year. All right, at $3,000 with my kids, all expense paid. We're not putting it on credit cards. We're not doing anything like that, right? And if I really wanted to break it down even further, I need to say something like, all right, $12,000. Let's do this. What does $12,000 divided by 365? So that's $32.87. So let's round up. So that's $33 a day. So what can I do in my business? What can I buy, sell, exchange that's going to be valued at $33 a day? So some people are like, well, I never really thought about it like that, Jackie. Maybe, doing all of these extra things that I want to do in my life is actually feasible and possible if I break it down in its simplest, smallest units of whether it's time, it's measurements, or increments of money or anything like that. So $33 a day can take, your family on, really awesome, amazing vacations, per year, like 4 of them. Really cool. So you're like, okay, well, if I only need to make $33 a day, then, what does that mean to me? I mean, you could sell lemonade on the corner and make $33 a day. You can start an online store, and make $33 a day. Shoot, you could like be selling everything in your house on Let Go and make $33 a day. You know what I'm saying? So there really isn't any excuses when it comes on to really accomplishing your goals. The biggest thing is to making your goals like small enough that your mind can like grasp how to actually obtain it and accomplish those goals. And that's the part that most people fail at. That's the part that people don't do. And then they wonder why, they're not really successful in their lives is because their goals are like up here, which they should be. I do want people to aspire for greatness as high as they possibly can. But when you do that and you make your goals really big without actually breaking them down into increments so that you can like progressively get to where you want to go, it becomes so overwhelming that most people, guess what they do? They give up, right? They give up. They just throw it out away and they're like, oh, I'll do it next year. and what? Next year comes around, a whole other 365 days comes around, and guess what happens? They do the same thing again, right? The repetition. But they're doing repetition in the wrong way. You want to do repetition in the right way, which is doing all of the small little things that allows you to build up to the big things, which is your intentions. And then your intentions in accomplishing those will build up to your actual goals. And then you become ding, 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 ding. You are a winner. And you know what is so cool about it is that every time you have like a small win, you can celebrate. And that's exactly what I do. Like no win goes uncelebrated with me. I mean, it could be like, oh my gosh, like I just, got a new pencil, and that pencil was this, the pencil that I used to like write down my to-do list. Like that's a celebration. Like I actually did that. Like, oh my God, I got something new. Like I really, decided that I was going to go get a new pencil and sit down and do something. Yay, we did it. Right. That releases like all those awesome chemicals in your brain and all those, like, what do you call it? Like, I don't know. Don't give me a line. I'm not a scientist. Endorphins, is that what they call it? Right? So it releases all of that really cool things, and it makes you feel really good about yourself, and it builds up on that momentum, and then you keep going. Whenever you find yourself unable to like feel like you're winning, then that's the time that you actually become like self-defeated, and you feel bad about yourself. You start talking bad to yourself, and then it's like a snowball effect. And you can't get anything done because you're too busy beating yourself up for not accomplishing all the stuff that you want to do. Not knowing that if you broke your goals down to small bite-sized pieces, you can pretty much like accomplish anything you've ever wanted in your life. Like really, really. For true. Anyway, so this is the way that I live my life. So I wanted to share it with you all because many people ask me all the time, like, Jackie, how you get all your stuff done? I'd be like, bruh, if I told you, you would totally laugh. You know what I'm saying? Like for me, a win is like returning a phone call. Like, okay, I did it. Cross it off. I like, for real, yay, I did it. So I like to celebrate wins. I like to break down my intentions into really small pieces. So my intentions are related to my goals, right? And then my to-do list is related to my intentions. So I don't put anything on my to-do list for the day. So it's like a daily task. And that's the repetition that I was talking about, like that positive repetition. I don't put anything on my to-do list that doesn't relate to a bigger thing, right? So everything on my to-do list supports that one thing that I want to accomplish that day, period. Everything else is a distraction and needs to be eliminated because it's not relevant. At least it's not relevant for that day. If it's something that relates to something else, then it gotta wait until tomorrow. You are a whole nother intention, bruh. You can't go on this list. Oh no, you're not gonna mess up my mojo, okay? Because I'm winning every day. I need whatever I put down, I bets to be finished it before my night is over. So it's really, really good to win, and it's really good to feel like you are actually accomplishing something. So I kind of encourage you guys to adopt the same process and principles in your life if you see fit. It does take some practice to implement because we're used to kind of like being like scattered and, just being like random and then, just beating ourselves up about everything. So it's a really great way to control your day and to control your thoughts and be really super focused and targeted on what you really want. All right. And really move incrementally directly towards your goals so that you could just smash it, kill it, accomplish it more than what you even expected you actually are going to get out of your goals. You end up accomplishing more than you even thought or even like set out to actually do. All right, so that's super duper dope. So the way how I actually teach my real estate investing students is actually the same way. I make them break everything down into small bite-sized pieces because they come to me like they come to me like this. You ever saw those cat commercials or those cat videos and you're tickling the cat's belly and they come to you like this? All right. So, you know, most people that ask me to be their mentor, to be their coach, they're always like, you know, they come to me on edge. And I have to like bring them down. I'm like, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. You know, your success is like right there. All right. But you're too busy like being mad at like everything, you know, to get to where you want to go. Right. So I talk them off the ledge and just have them break everything down into like really small pieces. And then one of my training events is actually coming up in January, and I'm so excited about it. Woohoo! It is the 3-day real estate investing workshop, okay, and the VIP field trip, which I'm so excited about. All right, so the last one that we did was in May 2000. No, I lied. Oh my gosh. I can't remember. It was July. Focus. All right. So it was July 2018. So it was really, really super, super amazing. We spent 2 whole days together with those students and teaching them the strategies, teaching them the behind the scenes, everything, all the calculations, like the technical stuff, if you will. Right. And then not only did I teach them the technical aspects of why they're doing what they're doing, I made sure that, you know, the dots were connected. Like, it had to make sense. Like, how do you get from, you know, A to B to B to C to C to D and so on and so forth. So that was amazing. It was eye-opening for them and they absolutely love it. If you're on my page, you can go to any of the videos and you can probably see the video testimonials of everyone who participated. It was super, super dope, super amazing. And then on the 3rd day, we took them out to the field, right? So when I say the field, I ain't talking about cornfields or nothing like that. We ain't take nobody out to no plantation. We took them out in these streets, okay? Took them out in the streets. Because it makes no sense to learn everything behind a computer in a closed door, closed locked room, right? So you're going to make some practical decisions and practical application of everything that you learned, which is totally amazing. So everything that they learned in the classroom setting, they had all their questions answered, you know, all that cool stuff. They were able to apply all of that knowledge, that information that they learned in the first 2 days to the 3rd day, which is where we went out and looked at properties. We went and we took a bus tour around the community and we had scheduled visits at about like 5 different houses. And all of those houses were like in different stages, in different conditions. So it allowed them to see from a different perspective, as well as calculate all of the relevant information that is required for them to actually be successful as real estate investors, right? So I made it real to them by actually taking them out to houses and then having them connect the dots, what they learned, practical application in an actual property that they can feel, smell, touch, realize, you know, what it is. So that is coming up in January. So do not miss it. All right. So it's in January. I'll be doing it in Orlando, the 3-day real estate investing workshop and VIP bus tour. It's going to be amazing. All right. I always go above and beyond to make sure that everybody is winning. So if you ain't on that bus, sorry, you missed it. You're gonna have to catch the next one around. So it's gonna be in Orlando in January, and the weekend, I think it's the 11th, 12th, 13th. 11, 12, 13. So I'll put the link in the chat here somewhere so that you guys can access it. So it's going to be really, really dope, really, really amazing. 3 whole days. All right. So it's it's the best investment that you can ever make. So if you ever were thinking about jump starting your career, your business as a real estate professional home buyer, that's what, you know, the technical term us investors like to use. We're professional home buyers. right? If you ever wanted to jumpstart your business and become a real estate investor or professional home buyer, this will be a great opportunity for you to do that, because you'll be learning multiple strategies that I'll be teaching. I'll be teaching strategies of what to do when the house is ugly. It happens. There's ugly houses out there. So you have an ugly house strategy, and then you have like a pretty house strategy. Like, oh my gosh, this house is so beautiful. It's like HGTV beautiful. Right? So you have different strategies for different purposes and different conditions of property. So you need to be well diverse in each of those strategies so that you can be successful. You can have the highest probability of being successful. So I teach that in the 3 days, as well as take you guys out on the bus tour, and we actually go and visit properties where you can feel, touch, smell, get involved, knock on the doors, kick the windows, whatever you do, just don't break anything, and apply all of the strategies that we learned together, right, on the previous 2 days. You apply them on the 3rd day when we go out on the bus tour. So it's super, super amazing. You need to get it for a limited time only. It's only $397. Like, it's the best money that you can ever, and when I say ever, I mean ever spend. All right, we spend like money on like TVs that don't make us any money. We spend money on shoes and clothes and all kinds of stuff. But you need to spend money on yourself and investing in yourself, especially when you want to learn a new skill that's going to position you to make more money in your life, right? So if you ever wanted to make more money, and most people do, that's probably usually like their biggest goal for the year. I want to be financially free. I want to be debt free. I want to make X amount of dollars this year. But you're like, how am I going to do it? If I keep doing what I was doing, then I'm going to get the same results I always had. So you need a new income stream. And real estate can be that new income stream, and it can definitely be a new skill that you develop that you never had before that can definitely pay you for the rest of your life, no matter where you live in America. True, but true. All right. So click on the link. I'm going to put it in the chat. As a matter of fact, I'm going to put it in here right now. So it is, let's see here. It's, it's cashflowyourlife.com/3 days. All right. So it's cashflowyourlife/3 days. All right. So I know that you guys are going to enjoy it, because everyone who went the last time, they enjoy it too. And not only do they enjoy it, they're out there investing like right now. Like everything that was shared, all of that information, they're out there doing it and applying it in addition to like what they're already doing. So it's not something that real estate investing is not anything that can take away from your employment. I mean, some people love their careers and really want to keep it, and other people like, I don't really like everything that I'm doing at my job. So, I'm looking for a new avenue, a new revenue stream for myself, and real estate could be that. And you can transition into real estate full time if that's what you desire, but it's not all or nothing. When I started real estate investing, I was actually working a full time, and I actually made a decision at some point after investing in real estate and doing quite a lot of deals that I'll say, oh, okay, well, the amount of money that I'm making is equivalent to and actually exceeds my my salary. So, at that time, that's when I said, okay, I'm going to transition out and gracefully retire from corporate America. And here I am ever since, right? So I've been full-time real estate investing for quite a lot of years now. And I couldn't tell you the last time I had a job. I don't even know. I don't remember how long ago it was. It wasn't that, I don't even know. I don't work nowhere. The only, I guess, organization that I work for, you guys know that I'm a captain in the Army Reserve. So once a month I do travel to serve my country. So every now and then you'll catch me in my uniform, and I love to serve, and it's an honor to do that. But other than that, full-time real estate investor. And if that's what you are looking to do, then I encourage you to attend the 3-day workshop where I teach you multiple different strategies, ugly house strategy, as well as, you know, pretty house strategy. I also take you on a VIP bus tour that's going to allow you to apply all of that information that you learned into a physical house. Like, how cool is that? So you leave there with everything that you need. Like, you leave there with scripts, you leave there with paperwork, you leave there with like a workbook, all of that cool stuff. You leave there with all your whole business plan is already set up by the time that you leave. So it's like a no-brainer, you know. Invest in yourself. Do not live 2019 the way how you lived 2018. All right. So if you were broke and unhappy in 2018, well, it's time for you to get rich and happy in 2019. It's time for you to live your best life. All right. Your goals are too important for you not to achieve them and accomplish them in your lifetime. All right. So don't be or don't do a disservice to yourself by being too afraid and too timid to step out on faith and do something to invest in yourself. Fair enough? So that's it. How do you stay on track with your goals? It's breaking it down into the simplest form possible and just repeating that process and that task over and over again every single day until you get where you're going. It really is that simple. All right. That's just my word of the day. All right. Love you guys. Talk to you soon. Bye.